Hello, everyone. My name is Gavin Atkinson. I'm from the Immigration Access Group, and I'll be talking about how border security is essential to American borders. Border security has been a huge topic ever since Donald Trump has become our president and has been a huge part of his presidential campaign. The border wall and protecting our border security officers is number one priority. Even though many people think that border security is a very non-essential part to protecting America's borders, through having problems such as drug busts, airport security checks, and the cause of these great problems ensures that border security is a very essential part to America's protection of our borders. When looking at our southern border, we think of many drugs, drug trafficking, and having drug busts at our most southern border. Drug busts are very normal commonality that we have at our southern border, and shows that there has been so many drugs that coming through. Heroin, methamphetamine, marijuana, and many other things that came through. Since 2012, the number of traffickers apprehended at U.S. borders has steadily increased from 364,768 to nearly 500,000 in 2014. From 2012 to 2015, the Border Patrol has seized more than 8.2 million pounds of marijuana, 32,600 pounds of cocaine, 34,000 ounces of heroin, and 17,600 pounds of methamphetamine. Those are huge amounts. Imagine that scaled to 2020 and all the things that are happening now at our southern border. Quote, drugabuse.com says that increased drug trafficking in the U.S. has led the epidemic level of overdoses to increase those of car accidents and firearms to the leading cause of injury and death among Americans. Drug abuse is ending too many lives too soon, end quote. That is horrible for Americans and horrible for America. Having border security at our southern border is essential through the great problem of having drug busts. Besides the southern border, we can think of airplanes, airport security checks, and other ways immigrants can get into our country. Airport security has been a huge since ever 9/11 and has had so many more precautions and security points since ever. Commonly seized things through airport security is guns, firearms, different foods, flowers, for instance. Anything you can think of that doesn't belong in America doesn't get into America through our airports. These things could carry many diseases or anything that could harm Americans, such as the coronavirus that is happening right now. It could have been transmitted through something that came through one of our airport security checkpoints. When looking at a real-life story, quote, The Atlantic posted an article about Maria, which said she had been living undocumented in the United States for 25 years now, and she was applying for permanent residency. The final step in her years-long journey could be done at the U.S. consulate in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, end quote. This shows that even though we have these security points at our airports and our southern border, immigrants still get in. That is why border security is essential, even at our airports and also at our southern border as well. The cause of these problems isn't a bad thing. These problems are actually good problems to have for America. When looking at having these drug bust and airport security checks, they're great to have because it shows that our country is strong, our country is safe to some extent. Ever since 9/11 and many other parts, they have been so many great stops to protecting our country's security. Quote, Hiro Loyo explains that these junctures, these problems, have contributed to turning this border region in the epicenter of the drug war crisis. First, the collapse in the Cold War, which positioned the U.S. as the single superpower in the international system, placed the war on drugs at the top national security policy in our country. In 1994, the passing of NAFTA, which devastated economic consequences for large sectors of the Mexican population. Second were the terrorist attacks on 9/11, which represented another key shift during which official U.S. rhetoric on drugs was merged with the threat of terrorism. This was also known as narco-terrorism. President Bush's war on terror and the internationalization of policies in the aftermath of terrorist bombings, end quote. All of these issues, the four from Hiro Loyo, and all of those show that border security is essential. Ever since these issues have occurred, our border security has been on the uprise, and had so many secure things for our country. In conclusion, these problems are good to have. They're great. They're great for our country. Border security is so essential, and the one solution is that Americans need to support our border security. Thank you.